Clemson program stability and Caleb Williams making moves. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Reefer, and I got another banger video for you guys today. But first off, like, comment, subscribe. Let's be special, baby. Let's be special. So I wanted to start off by talking about Clemson. Just it's been a smooth transition this offseason. Kind of a steady flow of coaches coming in, steady flow of coaches coming out. It has been a lot of rumors swirling. Oh, we're gonna get this guy, or we're gonna get that guy, and that may be a sign of two things. One, there may have been a lot of candidates and maybe the leaks just didn't get out and there was just a lot of guys keeping information in-house, which is great. Or two, maybe it was a smooth transition. Dabble had a mind for who he wanted. Had a little depth chart of, okay, so if this guy leaves, I want this guy. And if this guy leaves, I'm going to go get this guy or promote this guy. It's just been very smooth. Obviously, a new defensive line coach was hired and it was very, very smooth. The rumor came out that he was going there and Dabo made it happen. Now the same goes for the coordinators too, and it was a very smooth promotion. There wasn't a lot of, oh, we're going to go get the offensive coordinator from Ohio State or the offensive coordinator from, I don't know, Boston College to come to Clemson. It was just a very, very smooth transition. We're going to promote from within, very professional, and they believe in their system of just promote from within. We believe in our talent, and you can look at the recruiting. This recruiting class, and even some of the guys, 2016, 2019, those two teams we had there, guys like Cleveland, Tanner, Kayvon, Isaiah, some of our studs weren't necessarily the highest rated recruits in the country. You're seeing Mike Williams. They kind of came in, we believed in our system to develop them, and we just promoted them through the depth chart, and they were starting, and they won us to guys like Tanner and Isaiah helped us win 2 national championships, but obviously Mike played one for us, he was injured in the other one. But just a lot of promotion from within, a smooth transition, kind of speaks to the professionalism of the program and just how well put together it is. I compare it to, maybe a little bit of I remember Tennessee with their coaching search a couple years ago. They had a lot of candidates leak and come out, and they get the boosters and the fans and the student body like, no, we don't want that guy. We don't like him. It's off the field stuff that he's done, or we don't like him because we don't think he's a good enough coach. It wasn't any of that. It was just very professional of, hey, this is who we're getting, and we got him. Now the prospects are on campus. They're early enrollees. Cade Klubnik and several others. I'm going to have a video coming out about that pretty soon, but I'm excited they're on campus and they're starting to get ready for next season. And also, wish them the best, man. Have a great time at Clemson. It's a fun place. So the Caleb Williams saga has been quite interesting. There's been a lot of places thrown around. Oh, he's looking at UGA, he's looking at Auburn, he's looking at USC, he's looking at Oregon, and it's just been a lot of information thrown around about him because he's the biggest name that ever to hit the transfer portal. He's a proven commodity. You get 2 years left of him, and he's a great player. Now, one thing that I find interesting is Charlie Batch, a player that I have a lot of respect for. I liked him on the Steelers and in Detroit. He offered Caleb $1 million to go to Eastern Michigan. Now that's just this is kind of the first instance of a big donor putting out how much money they're going to give a prospect publicly if they go to their school. Now, obviously, he wouldn't just directly give it to him. He can funnel it through his LLC and NIL money, yada, yada, yada. But it's just interesting that this could open up the door for now these players that go to a school, do great, and they're trying to transfer to whatever schools can give them the most money. Now, Caleb and Mario Williams are both crystal ball to go by 247 to go to USC, and usually 247 is pretty accurate. So I guess Lincoln's getting two of his great guys from the previous recruiting class. Mario Williams, highly rated receiver out of high school, absolute stud for them last year. Caleb Williams, I don't need to talk to Caleb Williams. We all know what Caleb Williams did. And also Jackson Dart transferred out, which he was a highly ranked quarterback going into USC, and obviously he saw what was going on. Maybe he gave a heads up today, hey, we got Caleb coming, so get out of town, buddy. So it's just interesting that maybe more prospects start treating this transfer portal as a free agency, kind of a bidding war. $1 million thrown at Caleb is no chump change, especially since he'd probably shine there, and he's already a big enough name, but he's on NFL radars, so NFL teams know about him, know who he is, and he would shine there, and he'd be fine. So this could enter an age of free agency where these boosters just kind of throw money at players in the portal. Hey, you got to come to our school. Hey, you're playing at little old, I don't want to disrespect any school. Let's say, oh yeah, you're playing at Northwestern. They're not a powerhouse football program. Come to Ohio State where you can live up to NIL money and we'll give you a bunch of NIL money, man. Something like that could happen. And then, I mean, look at Texas A&M reportedly spending $25 to $30 million on recruits, according to a 247 writer. And it's just kind of outrageous money to throw at one recruiting class. Now, yes, I know that this has been happening throughout college football's history. This is nothing new, but now it's just publicly available, and this information is publicly out there because people aren't scared if the NCAA finds out, because they can just say, oh, it's NIL money. No, it's NIL money. You can't get into trouble for that. So people are less scared to share how much money they're actually giving to these prospects. Now, will the NCAA insert some sort of salary cap? Will schools have to disclose how much they're paying and they can only max out at X amount of dollars, or, you get fined? That'll be interesting. That's something that I think the NCAA should look into before this turns into a giant Wild West, is inserting a salary cap of how much money you can allocate to your incoming recruiting class, how much money you can allocate to returning players, how much money you can allocate to players out of the transfer portal. I mean, they kind of just monitor it, such so it doesn't get out of hand and just turns into a bidding war where the schools that have the donors willing to put the most money are just going to win and outcompete everybody. I mean, kind of like, baseball in the old days where the Yankees and the Red Sox would just buy the best players they possibly could, and their teams would just be better than everybody else. But I'm interested to see how this turns out and what happens. And obviously the national championship games today between Georgia and Alabama. I have Alabama. I think Georgia comes out hot, gets maybe a 2-touchdown lead. But Nick Saban is one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach of all time, a great halftime adjuster. He's going to pull his team together, and I think Alabama wins by 2 scores. They're going to come back from being down by 2 scores, and they're going to win by 2 scores. That's my prediction. So Alabama's going to win another national championship. We'll see if I'm right or wrong on that. As always, people, have a great day. Tell somebody you love them. Deuces.